Hello and welcome to a Smurp video, and today we're looking at Transformers Legacy Evolution Dirge Voyager class from Hasbro. Yes, they finally listened to somebody out there, because I've been saying this for the last year. Why are they not re-releasing certain figures that have become hard to get, or they were an exclusive and hard to get, or they're out of whatever, they're out of, what's the word, situ. That's wrong words completely, but it's finally happened. Now, there is something weird going on in terms of Hasbro, because I keep seeing the likes of certain Transformer figures. So some are popular, go, sell out, you never see them again. Some become available and on clearance at some point. So as a collector, I sometimes wonder, why am I paying the full price? Why don't I just risk it? But the risk is I could miss out. Maybe that's the one figure that's hard to get, and I end up paying double at some point to get it. Or do I play the waiting game and I wait for it to come on sale? I mean, I look at X-Men, the amount of waves that I've bought and paid a lot of money for, and then 6 months down the line, they're almost half that price on sale, either with distributors or in shops, etc. So or they've just gone on sale naturally. So there is something not quite right. So anyway, I got this from Comics and Cocktails, which is where I usually go to buy my stuff. That's some beautiful artwork on the side, and you can change them in 23 steps, and you get this nice beautiful artwork on the side. Plastic free packaging, as we know. So let's get Dirge out and have a closer look at him. All right, so here is Dirge out of the packaging. So obviously I never got that original 2-pack. I tried to get that 2-pack, but I never got it. And so I've got enough to compare this version against to see if it's exactly the same version or whether they've made a few modifications. But that is a beautiful head sculpt. I love the fact that one of the eyes is sort of like a little bit more closed, like he's eyeing up something, or he's about to go into attack mode. But the Seekers, they've always been reasonably good modes in terms of what Hasbro have delivered throughout this Legacy, Siege, Earthrise line. They've always been really, really good figures. Now, the fact that this line, as you say, has been going on, since, was it 2019 it began? 2020? With War for Cybertron. I feel like they could easily be going back and re-releasing those figures. And that was one of my points about this line, is that sometimes things go out, and Transformers are always going to be highly sought after. There is a massive fan base. It's like Star Wars, you know. You could release a figure 10 years ago, re-release it, because there'll be new fans out there that will be collecting these. So in terms of weapons, so he comes with the classic. Oh my goodness, actually that doesn't look as good like that. In fact, it's just on the side, so I'm trying to think of different ways to show that then. So you can put it in the slot there. You can put it in the slot there, which will not look very like it should do. And you can also have him holding the gun if you want. He will shoot you. So there you go. So you can do that part as well. Now, one thing that, and I was probably very similar with the masterpieces of the cone heads, is they do have the wings kibble. So just be maybe a little bit careful. I worry about some of these things. I hope that they're not on screws and they just pop off, because my worry would be that they would perhaps break or damage in transformation. I suspect there's not as many smaller parts as there were with, for example, the masterpieces. There's a massive gulfing difference, but I do worry about that. So let's have a look at articulation. So articulation, so that head must... No, there is movement on the head. It's very stiff, though. Very stiff, because he's a cone head, right? So you can sort of move that around. Very difficult. He is not going to get the full 360 unless you shift that piece out there, which if you want to do that, you can lift it up. There's movement up there. It's nice movement there. Bicep and the usual single on the Transformer. There is no movement on the chest piece because it's all sort of part of this big transformation. He's got movement on the legs. He can do the full splits, but just be aware of these, almost the full splits. That wasn't the full splits. You can lift this up so you can, oh goodness, lift his leg up like that if you want. He does have a single there. You've not got the articulation, so the toes can move like that, so you can get them in different positions. And there is a sort of movement there. So there is some nice articulation in this mode, etc. One of the things that I haven't mentioned is I do like how the colors sort of complement each other. The blues and the blacks, the sort of beige, is it a beige brown? And then you got the sort of purple here on the thing, which just brings it out. It just looks very like it all sort of goes together, etc. Which I do like a great deal. So here is Dirge's Ort mode, and I feel like they've done a fabulous job here. The detail looks absolutely stunning throughout. Clear Decepticon signs there, which look very good. I guess the only thing I could gripe about, which I feel is probably a bit, is carpet doesn't open. There is a little figure in there. I'm not sure how well that comes on camera. And I mean, I thought this was a wheel, but I've tried to pop it out, but I don't think it is a wheel. So, in fact, you know what? I know it's not a wheel. This is just how it all connects, etc. So, from that perspective, maybe just a little bit disappointing, etc. Once again, the colors look very, very nice. It looks very, very clean. The kibble is kept very nicely underneath there, which really, really helps how the Ort mode looks. And if you've got the three of them together, you can obviously put them together. Now, this is the bit, this piece here is what I was more worried about. But it looks like if it does pop off, it's just popping off. And you can just push it back on. It's not a screw or anything. That would be my biggest worry, and it just sort of moves like that. So, and then obviously these bits here are probably your other bits to worry about, but if you're careful, I'm sure it'll be fine, etc. So yeah, so Dirge has come along really, really nice. I'm glad that they did re-release this because they didn't have to, and Hasbro have been prone not to respond well to fans, so I'm glad that they did, and I'm glad that we finally have a nice decent Dirge to add to the Decepticon collections for those that missed out on that Walmart exclusive 2-pack. I can't even remember where it was. I completely missed it. I missed it a couple. I tried to buy it over here, but it was so rare. It was so hard to get in the UK. It was horrible. So I'm glad that these are getting re-releases, and there's no reason why not. I sometimes gripe about re-releases, but when it's done in a smart way, it works. So for example, this was part of an exclusive 2-pack. It was a couple years ago that it was released. It was hard to get. Re-release it. Makes sense. It's not like, so for example, Optimus Prime, he got the Earthrise release, Optimus Prime. With the trailer, it looks absolutely stunning. It's a fabulous figure, etc. But then they went and re-released it straight in the next wave with Kingdom, which was stupid. However, if they had waited between Earthrise and, say, now, for example, they re-release that now, that figure's going to sell out. I kid you not, because it's now a hard figure to get. So that would be a good business strategy, should I say. And Transformers is very popular. You pick any G1 character that is one of those top characters, popular characters. You do this business model well, you're going to rake it in. Instead, they are trying to make the most out of repaints. They're just repainting things for fun, and it's just, I don't understand it. Because people aren't buying those. I'm certainly not buying those repaints. Not interested. You know, the G2 one, maybe it's a bit fascinating for those who grew up, who were young kids in the early 90s, and they were buying those G2. I had those G2s, some of those G2 figures, but I'm not buying these G2s because they weren't part of that core G1 show. Do you get what I mean? Well, that made some sense. Anyway, here's my review of Dirge. I hope you liked it. I hope you like me. If you like me, please support my channel by subscribing. Thank you for watching. Thank you everybody that is already subbed to my channel. You folks mean a lot to me, and without you, I don't have a channel. I probably do, but I'll probably be pretty dire. I'll probably just carry on. Anyway, and as always, look after yourself. Very important. It's a lovely, beautiful day here in the UK, so I hope you're enjoying that sun, and or wherever you are, I hope you got some nice weather. And embrace geekiness. Goodbye.